Okay, we're gonna do a little unboxing on this Tundra Tested 4,000 pound winch from Canadian Tire. Designed for use on utility vehicles, vehicle trailers, and general winching applications. 4,000 pounds. It says China on there, forged China. So take that any way you want to. And it's got words on it, so that's probably good for an extra 10 horsepower. But this one here is red, so that's like 20 horsepower right there, and it doesn't say China on it, so take that how you want to. I'm gonna open this thing up, take this one off. I'm just tinkering with this homemade plow here, and I'm just gonna upgrade from this Champion 2500. I might even put them side by side and see what the frig the difference is. It seems to be the same bolt pattern, so it should bolt right on. Okay, so you got some wires, inline fuse, and some more wires. There's a plate. Instruction manual, fair lead, winch motor. There's a controller there, and some relays. This thing is definitely a little bigger and heavier. Utility vehicles, vehicle trailers, and general winching applications. 4,000 pounds. Always use hand sanitizer. There's a handlebar mount. I plan on using it, mounting this on the gear shift. So that might be cool. You got some hardware here. You got your controller. I like the way this controller hooks up. It unscrews and unplugs from the solenoid pack, and there's a weatherproof cover where it screws in. I've used this model before on the old Suzuki Vitara, and I really like that, how it unscrews. You can put the controller away if you're not using it, so that's cool. We've got them up here side by side pretty much. You can see the line is bigger. The motor, I don't know, it doesn't stick out as far, so maybe, I'm not saying the motor's smaller, but it doesn't stick out as far as that one does. But the planetary gear seems to stick out a little bit further on this side. This one looks a little more uniform. This one has the power points up and down, which sucks because the bottom one is like sort of, you know, right there. So that kind of sucks. I think you might be able to turn it if you take the screws out of the motor and rotate the whole motor. Maybe. I don't know. This one here, they're on front and back, which I like. I like that better. This end here looks pretty much the same, just different color. And I was looking at this, and it only has one big roller. If you look at it, this bottom one here, it's bigger than the top one. So I guess that's for the plow, I guess. This 4,000 pound Tundra winch, it has nuts in there and they wiggle around a little bit, which is good for alignment and stuff. But I bet you those nuts are like you know, good grade steel nuts in there. So that's a thumbs up. The one I took off, the threads go right into the housing, and I think the housing is just like, you know, some type of aluminum alloy. So I think this one off the bat is going to be stronger in that regard. Okay, I put the bolts to her, so she's cinched down. She lines up there pretty nice, don't you think? The fair lead and everything. I haven't put the new fair lead on yet, but yeah, the bolts just went right in. I used the long bolts because these nuts are recessed a certain amount, so I used the long ones that came with it. Came with all these hardwares here, but I just picked out the long ones. There's probably instructions here somewhere, but anywho, there's a zipper bag, but I don't know what the point of that is because the whole zipper just ripped right off. Yeah, so there's that. There's the hooker thing there. It looks about as good as a hooker thing can get, I guess. I suppose. There's the other hooker thing there. It says quarter, grade 70, transport, forged, whatever. Pretty much the same thing, I suppose. This one here is yellow. And it's got some warning triangles on it and stuff. It says China on there, forged China. So take that any way you want to. And it's got words on it. So that's probably good for an extra 10 horsepower. But this one here is red, so that's like 20 horsepower right there. And it doesn't say China on it, so take that how you want to. So this one here has got the power terminals pointing down and up. And you can see it's dirty there, so, you know, it was really close to the winch plate. So who designed that? Like, why did you mount it that way? I don't know. Anywho, better not complain too much. So that's the way that one was. I actually had washers. I had a washer here just to raise it up enough so the power wire would, you know, clear and not cause any sparks or anything stupid like that. This one here, they point out the front and back, which is great because, you know, you don't have to worry about it hitting the floor or arcing out. They're just so much better this way. Yeah. So that's good. So I put the fair lead on. This bottom roller is going to be a little bigger, so that's good. Well, I'd like to think that I'm doing a good job. Good job at making a mess. There's not too much left here. Just got to wire up the winch. That's not a big deal. Hook up the cable. I'm probably going to use that snatch block. So I might have to put an anchor point under the winch or something for the cable to come back to if I use the snatch block. I've already bolted it down. Should probably go ahead and get rid of this here. Put that away for the next project. So you got some red and black. Red and black will go from the battery or the power source. I guess they're red and black to the motor as well, I guess. I don't see any other colors here. They are labeled. This one is red back here. There's the controller. I might actually mount the controller on the gear shifter. That way you can still operate the vehicle and not really take your hand off the gear shifter. It is manual. You could do that on automatic as well. Probably. We'll see.
Now the kit comes with 4 wires, 2 that go from the power source to the relays, and 2 more go from the relays to the motor. And I'm just taking some wires out of the package here, and right away I'm kind of impressed compared to the other wires. These are a heavier gauge wire, but they're also nice and long. So I think the other 2 are a little bit shorter, but I'm still pretty happy with how long these are. They're definitely more than 6 feet long, so that's good. Just for comparison, there's the yellow off of the Champion 2500. So there's quite a substantial difference there, which is good. Upgrade. These 2 are going to be a little shorter, but you can either have a short one that goes from here to the relay, or you can have a short one that goes from the power to the relay.
So here's the controller for the Champion 2500, and this is what I was going to do. I was going to clamp it to the gear shift, and you can shift your gears. This is a manual transmission, and you have to steer, so it'd be handy to have the controller right there. So under the hood here, this is going to be the main power source, the battery, but there's also power sources like this. So this is the relay module here. It's pretty simple. It just has 2 wires in and 2 wires out. Power in and power out. There's also this here quick disconnect for the controller. I've already gone ahead and routed the controller wire into the cabin, or rather out from the cabin. So this is just going to plug in here, but I need to mount this, and I think I found some bolts right here that are close enough. I might actually flip it over so the power wires are hidden. So power is going to come in here, positive and negative in, and then these 2 are going to go out to the motor. They're color coordinated and all the wires are supplied. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt it down here. If I flip it over, I might put the wires on first, not on the battery. I'm not going to hook up the battery yet. I'll do that maybe last. I got this bolted down. I'm just using 2 existing bolts so I don't have to drill any holes or anything. I've got all 4 wires on there. 2 of them come here, and the other 2 wires go out to the front. I haven't hooked them up yet. This is just sitting here, but you'd probably want to do that last, just in case. And there's also a fuse that goes on the battery side. I might tuck these wires a little bit better eventually. There's a nice hole in the firewall there, which is nice because the relays are right there. So I'll have to tuck and route these. They might be a little bit long, but I guess it's better to be too long than too short. Well, I put the wires on it, so I got the controller hooked up, and we'll just see what she does. Oh, she goes up and down, that's good. It also goes right and left, or center. There's manual angle. I still have to tuck the wires a little better and mount the controller, but it works. It goes up and down. It lifts up quite a ways. You have to excuse my mess, but that's what I do. I'm a mess maker. But yeah, it goes up and down, left and right. The trip springs work. So yeah, pretty good. I put another U-bolt in the bottom of the winch tray, so I can use this snatch block and hook back into the winch plate again, and that seems to work pretty well. This slows it down, makes it stronger, and splits the load in between 2 cables instead of 1. So that seems pretty good. I was thinking about putting some quick release pins in here, but I'm not too sure about that now. I do have some 1/2 inch like trailer hitch style pins, and they just have a cotter pin to lock them in. But maybe the nut and bolt, or bolt and locking nut, might be more secure. But overall, I think she's gonna work. The winch goes up and down. Oh, we finally got some snow. So we're gonna try a little plowy action. Hey buddy. Yeah. Well, the roof's dry anyway. She's basically just asking for the big one, so you just gotta give her what she wants, I guess. Well, it's a little bit of an upgrade.